right, everybody. I have no lights in front of me. Again, we're just kind of test running all this stuff. We'll have it all together one of these days. But I'm just going to kind of go through the forecast here, give you the weather extra, and I can control the computer from here. So that's good news. So at least we'll get some of that taken care of. Right now, temperatures are in the 50s. We thought this would happen. It's cooling off out there. We're looking at the temperatures dropping into the 40s again tonight. Probably going to see some low 40s out there. Monitor the stream. Hey, we've got one person watching on YouTube. Thanks. I think we've got more on Facebook, though. Again, this is streaming everywhere. And what we're looking at is we're just kind of testing out the software. We're going to be doing more and more of this. In fact, I'm going to be doing it every day of the week except Saturday, Sunday. Coming up at 9:30. Helper behind me, pushing buttons. But some clouds coming in from the west. These clouds will eventually produce some rain around here early Thursday morning. So that's basically our next storm system coming in. This is going to be a Pacific air mass, so it's not really going to do a whole lot as far as the temperature drop. Of course, we're going to go from 76 tomorrow to roughly 58 as we get into Thursday. Here's tomorrow, Wednesday. You know, when you're forecasting the weather, you're always a day ahead, so that's sometimes the reason you forget what day it is. At least that's my excuse today. 42 at 7 a.m., 68 at 11, 72 at 3 in the afternoon. I think high temperatures will top out right around 76. Today we hit the mid-70s, so why not tomorrow? I think the winds are going to be a little bit stronger tomorrow. Late in the evening, probably gusting to 15 miles an hour, but most of your day pretty uneventful. Here's a look at that wind forecast. By 2 o'clock, that's kind of the peak heating of the day. It's also going to be our peak for the temperatures and the wind. But probably around midnight tomorrow night, we'll see some wind gusts out of the south, and those will be increasing to roughly 15 miles an hour. So here's your Wednesday. We're going to start with Wednesday evening. Pretty uneventful up until we get to tomorrow evening, because that's when the clouds start rolling in. But the rain really isn't going to be a factor until we get into, say, 8 o'clock in the morning Thursday. We'll take you there. Here's midnight tomorrow night. Southwest wind around 7. Temperature still in the 50s, so it'll be a relatively warm February night. It's almost March too, isn't it? And as we go on past that, this is what you're probably most concerned with if you got outdoor plans, things going on. 6 o'clock in the morning here, there's a few showers out there, but each model run has looked a little bit drier, and this one, no exception, it's leaving us really, really dry. So with this, I would count on just a few spotty showers out there around 9 or 10 in the morning, and then it's gone. So again, this is the update here regarding that. And we continue to see the clouds. It's going to be a cloudy Thursday. It's going to kind of be depressing after what we've gone through the last 2 days with these highs in the 70s. But that's what late February, early spring is all about. And we'll clear out. Some of us won't see the sun until it's about to set. And it's that critical timing here. I think we're probably looking at 60s if the sun comes back a little earlier. 50s probably Fort Payne and the Albertville area there. You can see by 4 o'clock Thursday afternoon. And the sun, hey, it's setting later every day, and you're really starting to notice that. So by Thursday, 7 p.m., not looking too bad. Here's the 3-day forecast, 76 Wednesday, and that's tomorrow. And then we've got that 30% chance of these really light rain showers coming in Thursday early morning. We just went through that. And then Friday, we're right back up to 66, close to 70 again Saturday. So nice weather there, although cooling off again. Here's that weekend forecast, 67 Saturday, 55 Sunday. So there's the change there. Now we're going to take a break here. This is part of the whole new trend here we're going to do with our CTV and our digital stuff. We take a break, and I'm going to talk more about next week. I'm going to talk aches and pains index. Then I'm going to talk about, there's some thunderstorm chances floating around on the internet talking about that. So I'm going to get to that coming up. Now it says stream starting soon. I don't know why it's doing that. I hit start break, and it just says stream starting soon. It should be rolling a commercial. I think you guys can hear me. I'm not sure. Okay, there's that one. I thought it was like actual video that was supposed to be rolling.
And now we just have like a slate that comes up.
we get into, well, was my mic off? Or?
I'm not sure. I think it was, everything was like on, but I just want to make sure.
I'm going to have to watch the rebroadcast of this. All right.
You know,
So,
it's
we're
all
losing the audience.
We're losing our people.
They're like, I'll just tune in at 10. So as we go beyond into next week, that's when we've got our next significant storm system coming in. So as far as March 5th through 11th goes, hey, we're near normal. This is the Climate Prediction Center. They posted this today. And we've been showing you this a lot lately and doing it more on social media. But this has been colder than normal and wetter than normal the last month or so. So we're going to be near normal. And what is normal? Normal is pretty much 60, 65 degrees every day. So here's what we're watching for next Wednesday, and there's already been lots of hype about this. I'll go ahead and get my glasses on so I can read it. But no matter what you see on social media, this is severe weather season in Alabama. It's no surprise that storm systems that come through here with the right ingredients are going to produce severe weather. We saw that a couple weeks ago, about 10 days ago. It's tornado season. So when somebody's posting stuff talking about, oh, I saw it, I mean, this Reed Terra guy, he posted something, said there's going to be 85 tornadoes in Alabama. I'm like, there is absolutely zero science behind knowing how many tornadoes we're going to. We're probably going to have an increased season. It's a La Nina. The weather's become a lot more extreme, and I think we can all agree on that. We go from one extreme to the next. Just look at this week. So when someone said there's no reason to get anxiety, we live in North Alabama, we live in southern Middle Tennessee, we get tornadoes. What happens is we get into March and April, the potential for the bigger tornadoes starts to go up. And I know I'm showing you Wednesday. We're not looking at a tornado threat right now. It could trend that way, but right now, I'd say there's a 10% chance of severe weather. But that could go up. And we're watching the models as they come in. So we'll see highs near 70 degrees again next Wednesday. The difference is there's a stronger storm system coming in. And the other thing this time of year when you're forecasting severe weather, it becomes real challenging because you can get a lot of clouds. And when you have a lot of clouds, it's hard to warm up some of these forecast high temperatures. So when it's cloudy all day long and we're borderline on instability, we typically just get a line of thunderstorms. Now, you go to the last event we had, I think we had like 6 tornadoes. Those are not the springtime tornadoes that we often refer to. The springtime tornadoes are the supercell type storms. Those are the most dangerous. Those track long. Those are the ones people are most scared of. However, these embedded tornadoes, as you saw in Sheffield, Tuscumbia, Sheffield had some damage too. They are very brief wind gusts that spin with no real mesocyclone in most of them. It's basically a big turbulent eddy, what we would call it in the physics of everything. And that's why they don't last very long. They just don't hold together, but they definitely produce damaging winds. So as we get into this is Tuesday, by the way. We're watching Wednesday. But as we get into Wednesday, the morning hours, we start off in the 60s. So typically we look for dew point temperatures around 64 degrees for that tornado threshold. And a good view of that long range is to look at the morning low temperatures around 64 degrees. So that'll give you an idea. So as we go into the day here, next Wednesday, again, this is a week from tomorrow, and this is completely going to change most likely. But since this is weather extra, figured to bring a big topic to bring up, talk a little bit more about. As we get into the afternoon, again, this timing's completely going to change some. This setup is there, the signal is there for some thunderstorms, and some could be strong. And then, of course, the farther north you get. So this is where the clash in social media comes from. You're going to have some people to the north talking about how they're going to get snow, and then other people to the south talking about how they're going to get severe weather. The problem is a lot of these people making these posts, especially this far out, don't even live here. They're out in Kansas and Oklahoma. A lot of them are storm chasers. And the thing about storm chasers is I've got a lot of great friends that are storm chasers, but when you're a storm chaser, you need storms. You want storms, and you're constant. That's your drive, is to have storms. And a lot of this is a money-making adventure here on social media anymore. They get paid by the number of people who share, comment, like these posts. That's why they blow up. And the YouTube's the worst. YouTube. Here's what's happening: is people are going from YouTube to Facebook, the bonus programs on Facebook, and that's why you're starting to see this trend of flashy graphics, big red graphics. You're starting to see that cross over to Facebook, and Facebook doesn't do any checking on anything anymore. So I'll have a sip of water for my throat. So that's tonight's rant on social media. And I see it all the time. Here's our tornadoes by month. March, April, by far our biggest months for tornadoes. That's because typically the Gulf becomes open for business. The water gets warmer. You get that water vapor in the air. It's more fuel for these bigger storms. You get a stronger clash of air masses where you have a lot more instability, and you've got a lot of cold air still trying to hang on from winter. So you get this big clash. And last May was actually kind of an anomaly for us when we had the tornado outbreak. I think it was like 21 tornadoes in 6 hours, May 8th. And that really surprised me, because we didn't wake up thinking that we were going to see all that. We thought it'd be just north of us, but they expanded the risk down to the south, and it just blew up. What's called the lid, the cap, it broke. And I've been in 9 out of 10 situations with the same outcome where the cap didn't break, and everybody was like, oh, you guys said this was going to be horrible, and nothing happened. So that's why when nothing happens, it's actually a good thing, because what we're forecasting for, a lot of times, I'll admit, we do forecast for worst case scenarios at times, just because people want to know what's the worst thing that could happen. But again, it only takes one tornado. That's the really other difficult part, is we can see an event that may lead to, say, 5 or 6 tornadoes or damaging wind reports, but it only takes one for someone to go through that. As we go into the summer months, it becomes hurricane season. The wind shear is really weak, and we just don't really worry about severe weather unless, well, severe weather, yes, it happens, but more in the form of damaging straight line winds, heavy rain, flooding, and a lot of lightning. As we go down the road here, your 10-day forecast, Havoc back in town. It's Vegas night, Thursday. I think that's sponsored by Breeze Airlines. And then Saturday, Havoc back in town. Boy, last Friday, I think it was Saturday. That was a wild Havoc game. They were down like 3-1. They came back and won it in overtime. That was great. So if you get a chance to get out and see some Havoc hockey, I would do it. This weather pattern here is kind of up and down, but overall fairly stable. But you get into this Tuesday, Wednesday time frame, those are the numbers that are going to change. The setup's going to change, and that's something we'll keep an eye on. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Again, this is something we're going to be doing more of. I'm going to have these lights working the next time, and a few other things that we'll work on. But again, thanks for tuning in, everybody. I got a show to attend. I guess I just hit stop, STC